Good Monday morning. I'm sorry. Good Wednesday morning, YouTube. How you guys doing today? So this morning I wanted to talk about the myth of femininity. And we know that this has, for a long time, been a topic in this sector, in this black sector of YouTube. We hear a lot of men saying that, they feel that, our women aren't feminine enough. Our women this, our women that. We've been hearing this for well over a decade, from what I understand, this gender war topic uh being displayed or said in one way or another. But what do black men really mean when they start complaining about black women aren't feminine enough? What does that really mean? What does that say to you? I want to talk about today what it says to me. And the reason why I want to talk, and good morning, Mika, and I am Divine. The reason why I want to talk about it is because I was listening to a video this morning, and good morning, Kingsmino. And they're saying that some people are thinking, and I actually agree, that the number one tool that the beast has in his toolbox of white supremacy racism is for us to be divided amongst one another. Now we've been protesting. A lot of us have been protesting, speaking out. Ever since we saw that video of George Floyd, right? So now the thing that's going on in mostly social media is the fact that they're saying that black women are dying at the hands of police brutality, and it is not highlighted as much as men. And I'm thinking that is used in the toolbox of white supremacy racism to divide and conquer, because you guys know that I have said many times that we have a lot of sub issues going on in the black community. And because we have so many sub issues going on, it's hard for us to focus on any one issue at one time, because we have so much going on, so much being thrown at us, so many battles that we have to fight on a day-to-day basis, right? To the point to where you really can't fight a systemic oppression. You really can't fight police brutality, or socioeconomic injustice. Do you see what I'm saying? You really can't even just focus on that, black men and black women, because you have so many subtopics. And one of those subtopics, I'm sorry, is the ongoing argument between black men and black women, especially on social media. Like I said, and one of those things that they use is the black women is not feminine, the black women is too masculine, the black women is this, and the black women is that. And you have a lot of men for generations, really, that have, for the past couple of generations in particular, have really, devalued in public the black woman, the myth of the black woman. It's to the point to where now black women don't like to be called strong black women anymore. And I'm thinking, why would you not want to be seen as strong? You see what I'm saying? You got a lot of women. I made a post, was it last week or week before last, highlighting the fact that it was a picture on the community wall, and we are fighting for against brutality, and there was a black man after he was protesting about the death of George Floyd, right? But he was giving dap to a police officer. You're giving dap to the very thing that is trying to kill you, and that is a colonized mindset. So what I'm trying to say is, when you have these men on here talking about, black women aren't feminine enough, black women this and black women that, every out the anti-black woman, right? When you hear that going on, what you are really listening to is a colonized mindset. It's an inferiority complex, if you will. It is because you have been emasculated and scared. Do you see what I'm saying? So long to where, you see your black women taking a stand really many times for you, that you start to despise that. But you're really not, you're despising that, and you're speaking out against that because your colonized mindset has you speaking white supremacy rhetoric. That you are speaking and trying to co-sign a white sense of patriarchy. Do you see what I'm saying? Because see, Anglos, they do the same thing to their women. Do you see what I'm saying? They want to beat you down verbally into submission. And you have a lot of black women that said, I'm not going to support, George Floyd. Let his Karens or his Beckys support him. I'm going to rest in my femininity. I think that's the phrase that was under that post. I'm going to rest in my femininity. Well, what that is that is also a colonized or white supremacist mindset. That's ideology. That you are co-signing a white supremacy's version of what white male femininity thinks that it is supposed to look like, not knowing the whole time. But the myth of femininity, the myth of toxic femininity in the Anglo community has driven a lot of those Beckys and those Karens crazy. One example of them going crazy is the feminist movement. They had been oppressed, and I'm talking about Anglo women, to the point to where they had to form a whole organization, to fight to combat white male patriarchy. Do you see what I'm saying? It drove them crazy. But now you see a lot of these. Here's another example. You see a lot of these Karens, a lot of these videos coming out of all of these Anglo women spazzing out on black people, right? I saw a video yesterday and I just got my whole life off of this video, but she was actually she had her baby buggy, her baby stroller, and her baby in the stroller, and she was blocking a black woman and her children from leaving the store because she didn't like that the black woman. It started inside of the store, and she was cursing the black woman. The black woman cursed her back out, and so she decides to come out and block the back of her car for whatever reason. The Beckys are on the loose. I saw another Karen. They're calling them Karen nowadays. A Karen, calling the police on a black man for no reason. What you're seeing is white male patriarchy at play, because the Anglo woman, she does the same thing that many black women do, that many black women advocate against, and that's protecting the black man. Do you see what I'm saying? And the black man, because his mindset is so colonized, many of them, not all, and because he has been emasculated to the point of fear, he doesn't appreciate that. But when he sees it in the Karen, he wants to put it on a pedestal. That is called toxic femininity. But what you're really seeing when these Karens are doing this is them trying to defend white male patriarchy. They want to put themselves out to make themselves look bad so that you won't focus on what you're seeing on the video of this white man, me and this black man. And then you see black man seeing this video, and that is just another way that they continue to emasculate and scare you. They want you to remain colonized. They don't want you to stand up and defend yourself, because the greatest thing that white male patriarchy fears is the uprising of the black man. That is what they fear. So you see these Karens going crazy, all on video. All of this happened. All of these Karens started going crazy, if you pay attention, after the George Floyd tape, right? So you see Karen after Karen, video after video. These Karens losing it on black people. That is her trying to protect her white male patriarchy. It is her trying to protect the image of her white man. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you see black people feeding into it, especially on YouTube in the sector. Like I said, let me circle back around to this. I just want to mention to you guys, when you see these Beckys, these Karens, I'm sorry, out here acting crazy, they are simply trying to divert attention away from what the whole world saw go down. with that George Floyd tape, and they're also now trying to change the narrative. They're trying to change the conversation, so they're out here in the street acting plumb crazy. Okay, they want you to be diverted away from what you saw, the brutality and inhumanity of that Chauvin, that white man that put his knee on George Floyd's neck. Do you see what I'm saying? That is, and that was just telling him, reminding the black man that you need to remain in a submissive state. You need to continue to be afraid of the white man. Okay? That is what he was telling you. That is what that symbolized. And like I said, as far as the black women go, they came out immediately in the midst of the protest saying that we're not going to support this. We're not going to support George Floyd. You saw Candace Owens. He wasn't a hero. He was a criminal. All of this and all of that. You got Kearns going crazy. All of this is a form of divide and conquer. You have black women have heard black men in the sector talk about femininity so long, and even when they're saying, "Well, I'm going to rest in my femininity," let the Beckys, protest form. That is you. You're saying it in a form of sarcasm, but that is really you, because they have said black women are not feminine, black women are too masculine, black women are this, black women are that, because of the black woman's strength. You have heard the black men say that so long to where you are now. It is now starting to seep into your mentals, and you're using when you're saying, "I'm going to let the Beckys defend him," or "I'm going to rest in my femininity." Like I said, you're using it as that phrase in a form of sarcasm, but what it actually is starting to seep in. You actually are starting to think that you are not feminine enough, okay? And you're actually starting to think that these black men want you to be the white male's patriarchal version of femininity, which is actually toxic, which it is a myth. Because, like I said, the Anglo's version of femininity has driven a lot of these parents crazy. Okay, it's driven them crazy. And they are, in turn, even though they've been driven crazy, even though they had this whole feminist movement, they are still out here, acting ignorant on black people because they are trying to protect white male patriarchy. You got all this stuff coming against you, black woman, at one time, and you are now starting. Some of you guys are now starting to feed into it. I've heard many, female-led content creators pages have this whole, conversation on femininity. Some women are considered feminine in this space. Some women are not, considered feminine in this space, and you are basing that on the white male version of what they think or what they say patriarchy, what femininity looks like. When that is not, that is toxic femininity. Just like they talk about toxic masculinity, that is toxic femininity, and it's also insecurity. When you have all these black men being anti-black woman, that is insecurity, that is weakness, that is colonization, that is a form of white supremacy ideology, and some black women are feeding into it to the point to where they felt like, well, they didn't want to protest, because of they saw this black man being kneed to death. In all actuality, that was you being kneed to death too. And now you have a group of black women that are, you have the Black Lives Matter, which advocate against police brutality pretty much in general, but geared towards the police brutality of injustice against black men. But you also have a group of women of the Say Her Name organization. They are saying that black women's black female death is not highlighted as much as black male death. That is divide and conquer, because the oppressor is killing you female and killing you male at the same time. And the only reason why the males get highlighted, that is a form of emasculation and continued colonization, because they want that black man to continue to be afraid. That's why more of that is highlighted. That coupled with the fact that we know that forever the mindset of the of patriarchy, white America, that mindset as it pertains to black women, is that black women can bear more pain. You know, we don't have to highlight them dying at the hands of police brutality like a Tatiana Jefferson or a uh excuse me, Corinne Gaines or a Breonna Taylor. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't have to Sandra Bland. We don't have to highlight that because they're used to being treated bad. Do you see what I'm saying? And they uplift that mentality by the colonized black man uplifts that mentality. okay? Because they are coming online and they speak out, oh, the black woman is not feminine enough. The strong black woman, they make that out of a some kind of derogatory term and all of this and all that, to the point to where it's just all jumbled up. And like I said, if you're not paying attention, it's very subtle, but it's really all just divide and conquer. That's all it is. It's ridiculous to, feed into, well, I'm going to rest in my femininity. Like, what do you really mean by that? You're going to rest in the mindset of white male patriarchy? You're going to rest in the mindset of colonization? Do you see what I'm saying? To the point to where you don't want to advocate for black men. You just want to advocate for black women. That is divide and conquer. That is the narrative being changed. Okay? And I was like, oh, it's very subtle. And I didn't even, catch it at first. But I was like, you know what? You are right. So that is the reason why I want to make this video to kind of highlight the myth of femininity. Do you see what I'm saying? And anyway, when you see black women a lot, we see a lot of black women out protesting. A lot of those women have sons, they have fathers, they have whole relationship that haven't involved toxic a toxic form of relationship, a toxic form of masculinity, or a toxic form of abuse. There are a lot of people, a lot of black women that haven't had to deal with those types of relationships, but they get thrown under the bus when you see them out marching and protesting against the police brutality that's going on in the black community, perpetrated against the black man and the black woman, but moreover the black man. But like I said, that is by design. It's because they fear the black man. They want him to remain under their knee. Do you see what I'm saying? They have to do that to feel secure. Do you see what I'm saying? So that is what you're saying. But black women, really listening to a weak-minded male, listening to a weak-minded black male, try to lambast you because you're strong, or lambast you because he thinks you're too masculine, because he's speaking white supremacy ideology, white male patriarchal ideology of what he thinks, what he says that a woman should be. When you see them feeding into that, you're watching a whole lot of fear. That's what you're watching, a whole lot of fear. And he's angry with you because you are not willing to sit down and just let them do whatever it is that they want to do. Do you see? And it's unfortunate that you have so many black men, especially online, especially in this sector. Do you see what I'm saying? Fighting with women because they are afraid to speak out against a true enemy. And that's unfortunate. But for black women to feed into that, that is even more unfortunate, because you are the bearers of life. You bring forth life. You have black women speaking out against black men. You have black men speaking out against, being very derogatory against black women. And a lot of these black men speaking out against black women, they have daughters. A lot of these black women speaking out against black men, they have sons. So what part of that mentality are you passing on to your offspring? Are you passing on to your child? You see what I'm saying? Take it, Tommy Sotomayor, for instance. We know that he has built his whole platform, and it's very lucrative. And he built it on, speaking derogatorily about black women. He's got a whole lot of time. He got a whole lot of babies around here that built their platforms on speaking derogatorily about black women. But all that is insecurity, and you're scared of the Anglo, because that Anglo is your true enemy. But you feel comfortable lashing out at black women. That's what you do. And to make yourself feel better, you can't speak out against the white man. So you're going to speak out against the black women. And in reverse, you have a lot of black women, in particular, the swirlers. Like, what's that chick name? What is her name? The main swirler. She says she coined the term for swirling. Child. Crystal Cousin. You got women like her speaking out against black men. Pretty much at the genesis of all of her ridiculous content is the fact that she was scorned. She's a scorned. She had a failed relationship with a black man, right? So instead of her choosing better, because like I said, it is all about choices. When you become scorned, scorned, like you're not considering what part you played in the dysfunctional relationship, and the part that you played from the outset was choosing him and not getting to know him well enough before you laid down with him, or thought you were in a relationship with him in the first place. You have to choose better so that you won't become scorned. Do you see what I'm saying? What part did you play in you becoming a scorned black woman? Do you see what I'm saying? What part did you play in that? But people don't think about it that way. And it's the same way with the men. What part did you play in the toxic relationship you had with a black woman to the point to where she hurt you so bad, that now you want to pretty much throw all black women under the bus? But was it because you made a bad choice? Okay. What part did you play in that dysfunction? And now you are a bitter black man. Do you see what I'm saying? It's really tit for tat. It's all about balance. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that they are trying to take the protest against police brutality and turn it into a gender war. The Black Lives Matter, and then you got to say her name. Black women, or the death of black women at the hands of police brutality, they're saying is not highlighted as much as the death of black men, via police brutality. The black man is highlighted more, but that is by design. They want the black man to remain scared. Do you see what I'm saying? But they know they don't have to even focus as much on black women for a couple of reasons. And the number one reason is because the black man, like I said, his mind is so colonized that he's going to go after that black woman anyway. He's going to go after her anyway. He's going to attack her femininity. He's going to attack her looks. He's going to attack her skin color. All of this because he is afraid. That is a white supremacy ideology, emasculated male speaking. When you hear these types of black men speak this way, and when you hear these types of black women say stuff like, I'm gonna set them rest in my femininity," like I said, and I'm not going to protest for George Floyd and all of this and all that. That is you feeding into that toxicity. And it's weaponizing what they call femininity. But like I said, the white male version of femininity has driven the white woman insane. You see what I'm saying? And it's causing many white women to try to associate their cause, not only white women, but we know that women, when at the onslaught of, at the height of feminism, right in the 70s, they associated themselves with not only the 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 civil rights movement. They also associated themselves with the black woman. They had the black woman on the front line, but the black woman has never been oppressed by patriarchy to the heights that white women are oppressed by patriarchy. But they wanted to associate you to their cause. There is no black woman on the planet that should be a feminist. We do not suffer from patriarchy the way that they suffer from patriarchy, to the point to where it's driving them crazy. You have a lot of black women that only want to advocate for black women. I say myself that we all know that I am pro-black, but moreover, I am pro-black woman. And what that means to me is that anytime we have a situation like the George Floyd situation, anytime that we have a situation like that, I'm going to try to rally behind my black women. Do you see what I'm saying? For their continued strength, but for their, continued part, in playing of this war that we have going on. Do you see what I'm saying? And anytime you have a woman in war, do you see what I'm saying? The testosterone, because we know that women possess estrogen as well as testosterone in our bodies. We know this, right? So anytime you are in a state of war, your testosterone levels are going to rise. They don't want to tell you that. So when you hear, we've seen for at least a decade, they calling you the toxic black woman. You're too masculine, but what you're actually undergoing is a sense of your testosterone levels being at an all-time high, because we are in a heightened state of war right now. The black woman, because you are a woman in general, is going to become, some of them are going to become very protective of her home, of her cubs. She's going to be very protective. And when you're at a heightened a sense of protectiveness, okay, you're going to be strong. You're going to do whatever you got to do to protect your cubs, to protect your family. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's also, even when you see her, what they call her, the mammy. They call you a mammy if you want to protest against or speak up for, black men. Even if black men are not speaking up for black women, many black women are still going to do that. That's protection via trauma. Your testosterone levels are going to rise because of trauma that we have in our DNA. Do you see what I'm saying? We feel like we need to protect him because of what happened to him during slavery. Do you see what I'm saying? We have a heightened sense. We are at war. Our senses are being heightened right now. That is what's going on. You see a lot of these videos of black women, in fights with other black women. Do you see what I'm saying? That is, and some of it is very vicious because we know that women in general, black women, our women, do you see? We can be very vicious, especially when it comes to one another. Do you see what I'm saying? And but you see all these videos online of these black women fighting with each other. That is all in a means to try to put a shine a bad light on you. But like I said, we are in a heightened sense of, we are in war. Our senses are being heightened right now. And a lot of us don't even understand what's going on right now. You don't see a lot of videos of black men, going toe to toe anymore. You see them shooting at each other. That is because they have been emasculated. They have been colonized to the point to where they don't want to go fist to fist. They don't want to fight you straight up no more. They would rather shoot you. All of these are after effects. All of this is trauma that you're witnessing. But because they don't know, the Anglo knows, and he wants to turn it around into something bad. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's trauma. It is trauma at the hand because of the hands of his ancestor. If he can make you look bad, black man and black woman, divide you amongst one another, he can look like he is a saint or a priest or something like that. And even to these Karens acting up, like I said earlier, they want the focus to be on them acting crazy instead of how vicious that patriarchal male really is. So you have all of these senses being heightened right now. Do you see what I'm saying? But what we don't want to do, what I hate to see that is going on is, once again, the whole divide and conquer thing, black men and black women falling for the same okie doke, to the point to where the narrative is changing little bit by little bit. Say her name, black women's, dying at the hand of police brutality. That's not heightened. That's not talked about as much as black men die. What about us? Say her name, all of this and all that. When the issue is black women and black men have forever been oppressed by police brutality. Black women and black men have forever been brutalized by police brutality. All of us are under the knee of the Anglo. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but if they can get you to fight with each other, you see what I'm saying? You'll stop worrying about protesting against police brutality, and you will start to fight with one another based on that gender war level. It's really very basic. Do you see what I'm saying? When you think about it, it's very subtle. And if you don't realize what's going on, you even got when they were saying, I seen a video from Billy Porter, right? And what he said was really good to me until he got to the point to where he wanted to castigate the black community about how he thinks that they feel about the way that the black community, he says, treats gay men, trans men and women, how the black community treats the gay community. Okay, I saw a picture of something, somebody spray painted somewhere that says black, gay, and trans lives matter too, or something like that. That is divide and conquer. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you are still a black man, whether you are a gay man, whether you have, transformed into a woman, you still are a black man. And so if the topic is fighting against police brutality, why are you trying to create these subtopics? Do you see what I'm saying? And it kind of doesn't make any sense. It takes away from the original fight. The original fight is against the oppressor. The original fight is against police brutality and white supremacy racism. That is the original fight. That is the issue. You keep getting sidetracked by nonsense to the point to where by next month, you know, ain't nobody gonna be talking about police brutality. They're just going to go on and talk about the basic gender war issue. Do you see what I'm saying? And actually, that will make black men feel more comfortable, especially online. They don't like to talk about race issues because they don't want to, admit to the fact of their insecurities when it comes to not only the black woman, but also the Anglo man. Why does he feel like he has to be submissive to him? Whether they realize they're doing it or not, why do they feel like they have to be so submissive? And that's unfortunate. Do you see what I'm saying? But like I said, we have a lot of stuff going at us at one point in time. But as far as black women, feeding into this whole I'm arresting my femininity. I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. Child, it's really ridiculous. And if you don't want to, join in a protest, or you don't want to speak up for, police brutality at the hands of black women or black men, that's fine. Do you see what I'm saying? But what you don't have to do is feed into the narrative. Black women, a lot of black women fed into the narrative of the stripper culture. Okay? You let the black man, because of rap music, um, convince you that the stripper culture was the way to go. You let the black men call you the word B in these songs so much to the fact that now you call your own self B. You think that when they call you a B, it's some kind of it's some kind of a term of endearment. You're proud to not only call yourself a B, but you don't feel away when they call you a B. It's disrespect. Do you see what I'm saying? It's disrespect. Used to be back in the day when I was young, a black man couldn't call a black woman a B and get away with it. Do you see what I'm saying? But because of these very remedial rappers with their insecurities, they not only demeaned you by calling you a B, they also convinced you that the strip culture is the way to go. And you fed into it. Do you see what I'm saying? So why do you think you have all these black women on social media and other places, devaluing themselves to the point to where they had this thing going around about these surgeries and stuff. Why are you following behind the Anglo woman and having these surgeries altering your body? What does that say about you? You see what I'm saying? How can you let your moral compass be valued or your femininity be devalued to the point to where you think the stripper culture is the way to be? You have to take responsibility of that. And then they say, well, a lot of black women just got tired of fighting for their, their not their femininity, but their, you know, they once felt like the black woman felt like she was, better, than any other form of woman, which is true. But they looked down on her because of her moral compass, because of the way that she carried herself. Hence the video, the picture on the thumbnail. They once looked down on the black woman for that. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the black man felt away about that, and because of this rap music and all of this and all of that, he started to tip away, strip it away a little bit at a time, and black women started to go for it. To now, you have this very, very derogatory thing going on, within a group of black women. A lot of black women are very insecure nowadays. That was once, there's always been insecurity, but more, you have a lot of black women that never, would ever lower themselves to do something like that. But now they want to try to assimilate themselves into the Anglo woman, and this whole time the Anglo woman is trying to build her body up. Look at the Kardashian shit. They whole build the bodies because they want to emulate the black woman, but she can never steal your essence. She can never duplicate or imitate your essence, the pride that you have for yourself. That is what she can't grasp. That's what she can't grab, or your strength. Even if she tries to look like you, appropriate your culture, appropriate your body, your hairstyles, appropriate your anger, your verbiage. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of black men, because they are real simple, some of them, they fall for this stuff. So now they want to put this Anglo beast on a pedestal. And have you think bad about yourself because you're not trying to be as feminine as them, or as the meek and no, what's the word, submissive as them, not knowing the whole time that when you see black women being like uber sensitive to the feelings of the white man or the black man, or being a super what they call feminine, and really frilly and soft spoken, and all, that is a myth. That is toxic femininity. What they are doing is they're weaponizing their femininity. White women have always had to rely on this myth of their femininity. They've had to rely on that. They use that as a weapon. It's really very toxic. Okay? You're always going to the white woman is always going to make the black man look bad because they fall for that very, basic form of manipulation. White women are just as vicious, as or more vicious as the white man. But the black man, because he's been emasculated, because he feels less than, some of them, you know, think that all is gonna be right with the world. They'll have the perfect relationship if he's with the Anglo woman, which the whole time she just running game on you. Like I said, a perfect example of that is those Kardashians. All they're doing is running game. That's all. They're not that dainty. They're not that caring. They're not that what their version of the feminine, whatever it is, submissive. They're not that at all. They're not. They're just as savage as their male counterparts, but they go about it in a different way. I've seen a lot of videos over the past couple of months of these Anglo women murdering their own children. So if they're so dainty and frilly and submissive and nurturing, uber, why are they killing their children at such an alarming rate? Do you see what I'm saying? It's really ridiculous. It don't make no sense. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate when black women start to feed into this. You know, is your mind starting to be colonized at the rate of the black mind? A lot of black women, yes, because I used that example earlier of that Crystal Curzon chick. You know, they say she talks about you know, I guess her version of femininity or whatever, and she's only doing that to try to get you because she really wants you. She really wants to pimp you out to these bottom shelf brands. So she's making you think that your strength or the way that you move in this world is derogatory. That's why you can't find a man. But then she's going to refine you and pimp you out to the Anglo man. That's game. Just like you see these black men speaking derogatorily about black women, uplifting the Anglo woman. That's game. They're just running game on you. It's mind games. That's all it is. And I hate for people to be falling for that crap. These are so nobody can define your femininity for you, black woman, and should you ever let an emasculated black male or either some the unearned privilege of white male patriarchy think that you are less than because you're not going to go for a whole lot of stuff to the point to where you want to fight against your own people. They want you to remain divided. That is the goal, but we can't look behind, our dysfunctions. Our dysfunctions are highlighted, which are subtopics rather than the topic. Like I said, because we are in a heightened sense of war right now. Never let anybody make you feel bad about your heightened senses right now. Your senses are heightened right now. It's going to happen. We are at war. That's why we are moving this way. And it just kills me that you have so many, like I said, so many black men and so many black women with this white supremacy ideology, mindset. And it's unfortunate, but you can get lost in a conversation. It's real basic. When I have to put you in, when I have to go at a man, especially like online or something, I really prefer not to have to do that. So and I don't do it anymore. I just flat refuse to go at anybody anymore. It's just no. It's just no. Just whatever. No. Just not gonna do it. No, not anymore. I got tired. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun because it's toxic. Do you see what I'm saying? is toxic. And don't nobody have time for that. I don't have time to coddle you or your emotions. I don't have time. We are adults and we should act accordingly. But you got a lot of people that don't understand anything, and unfortunately in the black community, because I'm talking about us, you got a lot of black people don't understand nothing unless it's in a picture book. Okay, you know how you got people that won't read a book unless it's got pictures in the book, because you don't want to read, but you just want to look at the picture and assume. Let me give you an example of that. Yesterday I did a video about Toya Salau. That little girl, she was 19 years old, she Black Lives Matters activist, and she was found. She went missing, and she was found days later in a house dead, along with an old white woman. Okay, she advocated for the elderly, and they said that they arrested a black man. They showed his picture on the video and everything, and they're charging him with the murder of these two women, right? And I got to thinking, okay, so was this a setup or did he actually murder these women? But the reason why I bring that subject up, Water Sniper 2 said, and Olivia the Oracle Speaks, it's all these weird relationship live stream panels day after day on here. Yeah, 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 but thank God that is just a small microcosm excuse me, of what's going on in the world, and I don't even look at this crap anyway because it's ridiculous to feed into it. But I do agree that if you listen to it day after day after day, you see, whether it's coming from men and women, you will start to, assimilate your mindset into that type of ideology. So yeah, I agree. There are a lot of women that, like I said, they want to change themselves or appear to be, what the white man says, what the black man says is more feminine. I'm like, okay, y'all really listening to this? Why? Like and then you got a lot of black men out here, pretty much speaking nothing but white supremacy ideology, and it's unfortunate for any of us to really take that stuff seriously. It's unfortunate. You got a lot of whiny black men on here whining about femininity. That you're really actually displaying your weakness is what you're doing. You're displaying your weakness. To somebody like me, all I hear is blah, blah, blah. She won't be nice to me. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I hear. And when I hear these women speaking derogatorily of black men, all I hear is bitterness. I hear you being a bitter bird. Why you worried about if he land with a Karen or a Becky? That means that you shouldn't fool with him. Next. What Kaya say? Next case. All right. And then you got the gays. Gays lives matter too. Just as much yours. We're treated bad in the black community. Really? That's weakness. That's all it is. I don't even care if you are a gay man or a gay woman. Why are you, delving on a subtopic? Because they don't. If a white man want to kill you, he don't care if you're gay or not. He's still going to kill you. He's not going to stop and ask you for what is your sexual orientation. Your focus should be on fighting against injustice and police brutality across the board. But because you are afraid, you try to turn it back on the black community. Black folks is black folks. It is what it is. But we can't even deal with one another because can't even defend and unite against the enemy, the person that we are really at war against, because of all these subtopics springing up. It don't make no sense. And so I don't pay attention to those weird, like I said, the Water Sniper 2 said, these weird relationship live streams on panels. These people are, they need to get off the internet. And really, you're displaying your own dysfunction. These panels are displaying their own dysfunction. I have heard black women co-signing the madness of these black men. Some of them co-sign that crap. They take up that whole white supremacy ideology and they spew it just as much as the black men do, trying to verbally beat down or, verbally make other black women that don't subscribe to that crap, submit to that nonsense. Okay, that's why you don't see me on, in these chats, on these panels. I'm not even in the class. I refuse to listen to that type of nonsense. It's ignorant. What does that say about you? Why are you devaluing you or co-signing madness? What does it say about you? See, it's all about us. Okay? The topic of the hand should be love and unity. But we got all these subtopics going on. This dysfunction going on. That's why you see these panels. Anytime I see a man whining about a woman or something a woman done said or this woman ain't feminine enough, you're telling me that you have been emasculated. You have been colonized. I am not impressed. Anytime you see black women complaining about black men don't do this, black men don't do that, black men don't protect community, black men don't protect me, black men this, I'd rather be with an Anglo man. Do you see what I'm saying? Putting that Anglo man on a pedestal. That's dysfunction. That's toxic. Black man putting a white woman on a pedestal when she called the police on you and trying to have you killed like Emmett Till. But you love that. You seek that. That is your version of the perfect woman. That's unfortunate. That is toxic. It is mental illness. It is ridiculous on both sides, in my opinion. That's why you never see me in those conversations. I think it's ridiculous. Like, I can't take you seriously. If you're spewing any type of white supremacy ideology, I can't take you seriously. Like, I cannot. I refuse to. So, yeah, no, you will never see me twerking on those types of panels. Never, ever, ever. And I don't even mean no harm. But it don't, that, I don't, my brain don't work like that. I don't know. But I am glad to see a lot of young people right now because they really haven't been tainted like that in that way. You have a lot of them, unifying. Somebody even said on a video, that community post I did. Which one was it? Oh, it was I put a Dave Chappelle quote on my community feed. Somebody got upset, because he was talking about taking a back seat because of the young people are doing such a great job protesting and speaking out against injustice. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm gonna sit down. He wasn't saying the person was like, well, the young people and the older people. Basically, they didn't say this, but basically, what I got out of that is, there is no youth leadership, and you can't take a back seat because you ain't doing your part if you're taking a back seat. I said, like, no, you misunderstood the quote. He wasn't saying he wasn't gonna fight at all, but when you get older, you start to move differently. The older you get, you move differently, and the reason why they say revolution is for the young, is because young people are bold. They haven't been alive long enough to be fully colonized. You see what I'm saying? And feel, the need of oppression on their neck. All they know is they want to fight. They got that fire in them, you know. But you can't. But the problem is, in the midst of that fire, you're going to need wisdom. And if you could put the two, if you could unite the two, it would be wonderful. You would be unstoppable. But a lot of times you don't have the uniting of the two. Because we know a lot of young people think they know everything, but they don't, but they got that fire. You have to temper that fire with wisdom. So when he was saying he was taking a back seat, he wasn't saying he wasn't going to do nothing or say nothing. He was saying that he was going to move different. You know what I mean? And that goes back, circling back around to the gender war topic. You have to learn to move different. I don't see why any woman wants to have a relationship with anybody that she met online. That is, these people that you're talking to online, you don't know them. You're going to take this thing offline. Why? You're putting your life in harm's way. The same thing for the men. This whole online dating thing, that is very toxic to me. It is scary because you can be anybody you want to be on the internet. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's very scary to me. It don't make sense to me. But a lot of people do that. That's okay. But when it goes wrong, you can't just be mad at the other party. You got to be mad at yourself for playing your part in the dysfunction. What is your part? Why was you so weak that you actually listened to these sweet nothings of somebody that you met online? Good morning, fashion, Easter for life. And you've never even met this person in public. You see what I'm saying? Why would you do that? What is your part in the dysfunction? You have whole relationships being put forth online, and then they meet it in person, and it's never there. And then they come back online to speak badly about one another. It's a section of mommies, predominantly black mommies, on YouTube, and they're talking about this. Well, my niece is in that sector, and she's always talking about this one content creator. She's got like a lot of subs and stuff, but she met this guy offline, and then the guy came online to these other content creators and started speaking derogatorily against her. But she met the guy on Plenty of Fish. I'm like, on what? That is madness. That is madness. But you told him that you was a content creator, you know what I mean, and you was pillow talking against these people that speak out against you, or either he been following you for a long time and he knew who you was, but he been stalking you in the background. See, that's what makes it scary. And now, because you didn't want to reciprocate his affections, or you told him he was just a one night stand anyway, now he in his feelings for whatever reason, and now he coming at you putting forth all your business. Do you see what I'm saying? Number one, why would you do that if you got a whole lot of kids? Why would you invite this person into your world and you met him online? That's ridiculous. But like I told my niece, girl, that was probably a setup. That's part of the hustle. You know what I mean? But the scary thing is, if it's really real and it wasn't a setup, that is scary. That means you are now being stalked. That means that this man feels like if he talks speaks badly about you, you will submit to his wishes, and he's probably crazy. He's obsessing over you. That is a scary situation. You know, but you have to take those things into account when you're going to meet somebody online. And if you met him online, why would you tell him what you do? You know, don't you think that's going to turn on you? Because we've seen a lot of relationships be destroyed, or a lot of people paying people back, you know, via social media. This what they call a revenge porn, and the posting of people's private pics, and all of that is revenge or psychosis or a little bit of both. You know, that's not normal. But you see a lot of that in this sector when these people form these relationships and then they break up. All of a sudden, it's a battle online, even you know in this sector in particular. So, have you ever stopped to think that maybe that person was coming on to you? So, because eventually they knew they was going to turn on you anyway, because it makes good ratings on the tube dysfunction. You know, you get a lot of ratings. I went with this person. You know, I met him online. We're all in the same circles on YouTube. Now we was together for a little while, or we talked for a little while. Now we broke up. We're not on good terms anymore, and now I'm going to use the breakup for content. The whole relationship is now turned into content. I'm thinking that's a setup. That don't even sound right. Why did you fall for the okie doke? You know, it's just like these black men falling for this fake femininity coming from these Karens. That's you getting hustled, honey. That type of femininity is a myth. But okay, if you're gonna go for it, you're gonna be that basic. Okay, that's how a lot of men get took for their money and their life sometimes. Follow behind the skirt tail of toxic femininity because they played you. All right. Do you think women don't know how to turn it on and off? Do you think that you are the only one that know how to play the game? Now you got some women, a lot of women that are insecure, and they're bitter because they don't know how to play the game. Dealing with a man is the easiest thing in the world. They are real easy. Okay? If you are not insecure, I don't see, I can't see, I don't even know when the tide turned to where you allowed a man to get the upper hand on the relationship. Like, how's that possible? Like, what did your mama teach you? Did your the onslaught of the crack epidemic? Did that, you know, did that destroy, uh, the way that you were raised? I mean, child, I don't know. Hold on, I want to read this. A guy on Facebook met a woman on POF. He went to her house. She kept the lights off when he went in. She kept the lights off when he went in. He felt uncomfortable, so he decided to leave. When he looked back, he saw three men. Wow, hopping the fence. Wow, because that was gonna rob him, right? Is that what you're saying? They was gonna rob him? Yeah, all that stuff is toxic. That online dating stuff, that's crazy. They have made lifetime movies about that Craigslist killer. and all of this and all of that, man, that is crazy. I saw a video of it was a story, it was a while ago about this woman, uh, this black woman. She met this guy online, and she met him, but the purpose of meeting him was to set him up and rob him. Like there have actually been a couple of cases of that. And the same thing, I did a story not too long ago. I don't even know if it's still on my page of this Anglo boy. He was talking to this. He had been stalking this white girl for a long time, right? So he did. He was stalking her on the one page, and then he was talking to her, whispering sweet nothings in her ear, on another page. And they eventually decided to meet up because it was a concert. And don't you know that he killed her in the concert parking lot? He was a stalker and the wooer at the same time, but the end goal was to kill the girl, and he did it live. He did it live, and the police actually found her body covered with a tarp in that parking lot, and he was there, acting like he was gonna kill himself. But the goal was he had stalked her online because and then he played nice on another profile, but the end game was to kill the girl. So yeah, it's crazy. You have to be careful. I don't trust this online dating stuff. I don't trust it. I don't advise it for anybody. But yeah, I don't even know if this video is still on my page. I don't know if I took it down and kept it up. I'm gonna have to see. If it's still up, I'm gonna put a link to that story in the description box so you guys can check it out. You remember it was last year, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's just not only black people in black sectors. It's white people. It's Chinese people. You have to be careful. It's every people. Because a lot of the crazies, before the popularity of social media, the crazies, people just crazy. They was just in the world. But the easiest thing for a crazy person to do, or some psychotic person, or some serial killer, the easiest for them to they're not on the streets anymore, just snatching you up as quickly as they used to have to. Honey, they can woo you online. They can talk you out of your hiding place. They can make you come to them willingly. All the crazies are online now. So when you see me talking about stuff like I'm not going to beef back and forth with you, if you feel like you need to dox me, it's because I think you're crazy. I think you're a stalker. Why would you want to know everything about me other than what you see online? That means something wrong with you. People don't be paying attention to stuff like that, but you got to. You have to. I'm sorry, but you have to. Yeah, he did. He recorded himself. Yes, he did. Sure did. Last year. You're right. Yes, I'm telling the truth. That you saw that story. Like I said, it's still maybe on my page. Did that girl like that? He was stalking her and warning her at the same time. I was like, oh my God. How weird is that? How weird is that? I am Mary's Queen laughing at me, child. This ain't the place to try to find your forever man, child, or either your forever woman. Okay. If you in these chats and somebody try to holler at you and they in the chat just like you in the chat, you should say, no, this is not a good idea. I might be lonely, but I might need to care about my life just a little more. Okay. That's a scary situation to me. As Queen said, right, absolutely, man. It is weird. I didn't even realize that it had got so crazy on YouTube that content creators are doxing people that just be twerking in the comment section. Like, wait, what? You trying to dox the people. Not other content creators. Not only are you doxing other content creators, you doxing people that comment in the comment section and donate to you. We talked about that. I'm thinking, wow, that's weird. What does that say about your mental health status? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's no reason why, like, Black YouTube, this sector of Black YouTube has gone down the drain, just like many. It's just like the beef sector. Like, what's the difference? Like, the only difference is in the beef sector, the issue over there, the gender war issue over there is, you got a lot of women that have to go against gay men. And on here, in this sector right here, unlike the B sector, you have a lot of so-called heterosexual men going against women. That's the only difference. I'd be like, honey, But people really need to start thinking about what's going on online. I don't even know how I strayed away from that subject, but honey, it's a lot. All the crazies is online now, y'all. I'm telling you. Okay, Natasha. Natasha said people have too much time on your hands to do what sure do. I mean, do these people? I mean, like, do they got a job? Do you have a life? How do you have so much time to dissect my world? That is weird. Why? How are you caring more about me than you caring about yourself? See, that is weird. That is a stalker mentality. I'm telling y'all, like for real. There's something wrong with that picture. Mary's Queen said, "Yep, they do and say the same things. Yeah, in these sectors, absolutely. And it's not only the black sectors. It's not only the black sectors either. Do you see what I'm saying? It's them Anglos over there. They're crazy too. They do the same thing. They take it to a whole nother level. I have seen them take down people's brands, not just their channel, their brands, especially in that the makeup gurus. Baby, they are vicious over there. They will destroy your whole brand. I mean, you making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of what you're doing on YouTube, right? Because you're getting these these brand endorsements. You're doing brand endorsements and stuff like that. And if you say the wrong thing or you get more than them, I'm talking about the Anglos now in the makeup sector, they will try to take down your whole brand. That Jeffree Star, I done watched and see him take down whole brands. Just destroy whole brands. People's whole brands just lay waste to them. I was like, oh, he the meanest girl on the block, ain't he? Honey. Aries Queen said, even the tarot card sector be. I seen that, Aries Queen. You are absolutely right. I seen it happen in the tarot card sector too. Oh, that ain't nothing. We know it happened in the mommy sector, right? Or the family sector slash mommy sector slash the families, back and forth and all of this and all that, right? Not only that, girl, they be arguing. Y'all, they be arguing in the ASMR sector, which is supposed to be the peace and tranquility sector. They argue in the mukbang sector. The mukbangers, y'all, they real savage. Oh, Jesus. They're real savage in the mukbang sector. I be like, Lord have mercy. I ain't never seen that. Like, how you gonna be beefing in the ASMR sector if you're supposed to be about peace and tranquility and calming people down at night? How in the world you gonna beef in the food sector and in the ASMR sector? Because your brand, your channel is supposed to be geared towards relaxation. Many people find relaxation in food, right? That sensory stuff, that ASMR stuff, that's supposed to be for relaxation, right? Yeah, what they doing is beef. I'm telling you, it's the algorithm. It's the algorithm, child. A lot of mentally ill people, a lot of mentally ill people on YouTube. Like I said, the makeup sector. Who would even thought that would be so vicious? And they just talk about makeup. I'm like, how? Why? People want to eat a lot of food. It's an argument. They snobby. It's all get out. How? Why? People whispering to you in a calm voice, but they beefing. How? So yeah, it ain't just us. It's everybody. It's the whole YouTube culture, child. That's right, Natasha. Everybody losing their mind. I'm telling y'all, the algorithm got a lot to play. Got a large part to play in it. Oh my God. And even the people that own these tech companies, did y'all hear about before I get off here? We done got to an hour now. Y'all done got me on a whole other subject, child. But did y'all hear about the eBay? Some of the people working at eBay, right? It's this couple that kept giving them bad reviews. So the people over eBay start stalking them, right? They start sending them stuff from eBay like a box full of roaches, a box full of cockroaches, a box full of fly larvae, all kind of disgusting stuff. They was stalking them people because they was giving eBay bad reviews, and the people over at eBay was sending them roaches and all of this other crazy stuff. All offline stalking the people. The people that work at eBay was. I was like, what in the world is going on? They not give eBay no bad review. Did y'all hear that story? Hit the one if y'all heard that. I was like, what? If you ordering something from Amazon, you better not give them a bad review. You might get a box of bugs, baby. I was like, I can't imagine. I cannot. I was like, Lord, Rhoda done drove everybody crazy. I'm telling y'all, if y'all haven't heard that about that, please go Google that information. It is crazy. This just happened a couple of days ago. Child. Uh, did I see your comment? Let me scroll back up. Now, if it was vulgar, they'll snatch that. The last thing you said is he recorded himself. I didn't see anything after that. So no, I didn't see your comment. What'd you say? Try to word it differently. Because I didn't see it. The last thing you said was he recorded himself. And so yeah, y'all was sending them bugs and stuff, man. I was like, oh my God. And it's hilarious though, but it's really crazy. I mean, they supposed to be sending you your items, and they're sending you a bucket of bugs. I was like, girl, I cannot with these people. Oh my God. I done ordered a lot of stuff off of Amazon, right? And they keep sending me that we want you to review this and we want you to review that. The reason why I don't take the time to review, even offer gift cards and stuff. Yeah, box of bugs. Google it. If y'all think I'm lying, eBay. eBay was stalking people because they were sending them bad reviews. This one couple in particular. Yes, honey, but the reason why I won't do the reviews, I be thinking, child, ain't nobody trying to go for all that. If I send them a bad review on any type of item I done got off of Amazon, is Amazon gonna hold my order for a whole month? So that's why I don't do the reviews one way or the other. I don't say if I don't give it a good review, I don't give it a bad review. I don't give it no review at all. I'm just staying in my lane. I just want my items. That's all I want. But I'm glad I had that mindset, seeing this how eBay was, if you send them a bad review, they're gonna send you a box of books. Now y'all know good and well that black people in particular, we don't like cockroaches. Can you imagine it? Opening a box full of cockroaches and them cockroaches spreading it out all over your home. You will lose your mind. Okay. Now we know that some of us have childhood trauma because of cockroaches. Oh, child, I cannot with these people. But but I saw this story. I was like, oh Lord, it's crazy. What if they would have started sending them like body parts or something? Like I don't know what was next. But it was crazy, y'all. But anyway, child, y'all be careful about what's going on online. I guess the lesson here for today is stop feeding into the madness. Gender wars, that's madness. And every other thing we talked about. You should never internalize anything that you hear online coming from people that you don't even know. Don't let nobody, these crazy people, define your femininity. Don't let these crazy people define your masculinity. And absolutely don't do a review on anything, any company that you order from offline because you may end up with a box of books. Okay. I guess that's the lesson for the day, y'all. Do not, I repeat, do not give a bad review to any company that you order from online. Now you can give a bad review if you're never ever going to order from them anymore. You might be safe then, but you might get a box of bugs. Okay. Can you imagine? You know how them people, I'm going to get out for I promise, but can you imagine, like, say you one of the people that steal people's Amazon boxes, right? You waiting for delivery, like you ain't at home, right? And somebody steal your Amazon box, but what they get when they open their Amazon box is not a new phone or a new, electronic device, even a new pair of shoes or something, right? A new wig or something, right? What they getting is a box of bugs. But they stole your box of bugs. The bugs wasn't even intended for them. The bugs was intended from the homeowners that you stole from because they gave a bad review. Oh my God. And now you got to deal with bugs in your house because you was sticky fingered and you stole that box. Because you thought you was getting some. But you ended up with that bug. So really, you did them a favor. You did them a favor. Oh yes. Anyway, y'all. Who child know how we got sidetracked on that. But child, I'm gonna get off here. We have a lot hours worth of time has been allotted. Child, y'all have a nice day, okay? Just be careful out there. Don't internalize all of this madness, child. But I hate that the narrative is being changed away from dealing with collectively having to deal with police brutality and other injustices that occur, to that happen to our people. I hate that the narrative is trying to be changed and turned into a gender war. That's unfortunate. Do you see what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. But we knew eventually, something was going to sidetrack that movement anyway, and it's just unfortunate. Do you see what I'm saying? And also, it's unfortunate that people that you are ordering these items from, they getting so mad to the point where they want to send you a box of bugs, girl. And boy, what child? I said, nope. Y'all have a nice day, okay? You too. I am Aries Queen. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Please, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it. I'm not even gonna send you a box of bugs if you don't, but I would appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. You so hit that like button for your girl, okay? I would appreciate it. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Do you see what I'm saying? Please have a good day. Please Google that information about eBay sending your people bugs and stuff. If you haven't, you will get your whole life. It is absolutely funny. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.